People will say, oh, it's boring, only Jesus. No, it's life. It's life. There are many other places where they talk about whatever they want. But here, our main topic is Jesus, the Word of God. What happened to Jesus, what He's done for us, and what do we respond to His call. As we remember, the religious people, they, as we read here, they envy Jesus because they saw what He was doing. They saw that Jesus was healing people. They saw that Jesus was restoring people. They saw that the multitudes will come to Him. They saw that He was teaching life. He was teaching truth. And people were following Him. And they felt a bit concerned. Because the religion they had, didn't function. The religion they professed was kind of too strict and did not produce life. Up to one point, they had made their own religion. You know, there are so many people who try to make their own religion. Make a pot, put things from this and from that. There was one case, I was reading this philosopher in France in the last century. He said he will create his own religion and it will be the best. So he collected very good points from Christianity, very good points from Islam, very good points from Judaism, from Zoroastrians, everywhere. He picked up good points. He put it together. He said this is the best religion that people should follow. But as the years passed by, nothing. Just 2 or 3 cats were following him. And nothing happened. So he was disappointed. He comes to a good famous preacher at the time, and he asked for advice. And he said, look, I founded my religion. A bit of everything is really good. It's very great. I don't know why people don't come. So this preacher, he said, that's easy. That's easy. The only thing you should have to do is just go around to Paris and do some miracles. Just rise some people from the dead. Heal other people. And then let them crucify you. And then come back after the 3rd day. And I tell you, you will have a lot of followers if you do that. That's what people try. They make their own philosophy, religions, but nothing works. The only one that works is the heavenly. The heavenly. So the religious people, they come and they say, we don't like this Jesus. So the Sanhedrin, which is was the group of leaders, of the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and they come together and they say, that's enough. We have to do something about this Jesus. That is what they came to conclusion. We have to do something about this Jesus. It's enough. What they decided. We have to kill him. So they handed him over because they could not kill him directly. They handed Jesus over to Pilate, who was the governor of Judea. He was at that moment the governor. So he had the authority to impart what he wanted. What a terrible man this was, Pilate. Pontius Pilate. He was very famous at that time, a Roman, representing the Roman emperor. It was discovered a few centuries back, one letter that was written about this Pontius Pilate, where it was described his character. And in that letter, it says that he had an unbreakable character, and he was unkindly tough. And then also they described him as corrupt, violent, a thief, oppressor, likes to humiliate people, and perform constant executions without trial. He was very cruel. That's the description of Pontius Pilate. Sounds like a good politician. Corrupt, thief, oppressor. Yes. And he was a politician. He was a politician. He represented the Roman. His ambition was to grow in that position. So he receives Jesus, accused by the religious people. He didn't care about the Jewish people. He was concerned about his position as a leader in the government. And he could see that the religious people, the Jewish people, they can deal with their own thing. So when they bring him over, when Jesus comes over to him, he was not concerned about what the Sanhedrin was accusing Jesus of. Pilate, he asked 3 questions to Jesus. 2 questions we find here in this book, and the other one in John. The first question he asked is, are you a king? He was not concerned about the king of the Jews. He said, he is a king, he will be a threat to the emperor. Then I can accuse him. If he says it's about king of the Jews, I don't care about that. He said, are you a king? First thing, Jesus answered nothing. He didn't answer. Because in Isaiah it says that he will not open his mouth. He kept quiet. But as the governor insisted, are you the king? He said, if I were a king, my followers will be fighting out there for me. If I were a king, I will have people with weapons trying to kill you right now. He did not answer like any other human will answer. He went beyond and explained who he was. My kingdom, he said, my kingdom is not from this world. I came here with one purpose, he says. And the reason why I came here is to tell the truth. That's why I'm here, to say the truth. And then Pontius Pilate, he asked the second question. What is truth? So the first question he asked is, are you the king? When he found no the answer he would expect. And when Jesus says, I'm here for the truth, he asks, what is truth? So we can find in this description the two or the main reason or the main way how most of the people come to see God with their mind only. So this morning, what I am trying to present here is what happens when we come before God only with our mind. But then we will see what happens when we come before God with our heart. So it's only two options that are presented in the Bible how we can come before God. We can come before God just using our brain, or we can come before God with an open heart. I tell you again, most of the people approach God only with their brain. I'm not convinced because my philosophy teacher told me differently. I don't know about that. I thought it was this way. I would prefer if this was this other way. Thinking. That's what Pontius Pilate said. I see you as a man. I see you as a king because they say you are a king. Are you? Oh, now tell me what is truth anyway. You are wasting your time talking about truth. What is truth? And then he continues. And then his wife comes to the moment and she says to him, Pontius, come over. I'll tell you something. Don't get your hands dirty with this man, because this is a just man. Pontius, I know who you are. I know that you don't care about people, but I've been troubled last night. I've been having a lot of dreams about this Jesus. Don't do anything to him. That's what was a very wise woman. And Pontius was probably concerned. In the book of Luke, it says that he found out that this Jesus was a Galilean. And he said, because I can't find anything really how to accuse him, even though he doesn't answer properly if he's a king. I don't think he is. He didn't answer what is truth. But I don't know what to do with him. But he's a Galilean. What I will do, I will send him to Herod, the king of the Galileans. He can deal with him. Get rid of him here, over to Herod. He sent him. At that time, Herod and Pilate, they were enemies. They were enemies. They have conflict, as politicians do. These two politicians, one belonged to one party and the other one belonged to the other party. They were fighting. But when he sent Jesus to him, the Bible says in Luke, they became friends. Because they were dealing with the same purpose, how to get rid of Jesus. That's what you can see when people, they appear to be totally opposite to each other. But when they face the truth, they ally. They ally, even though they don't like themselves, even though they hate each other. But because they are against the truth, they become together for a moment. Just to hate the truth. But Herod, he says, I want to see Jesus. Because I heard that this Jesus is doing a lot of miracles. So what I will do, I will bring him in my presence. I want this Jesus to do miracles in front of me. That's what he said, Herod, in Luke. I want to see a show. I want to enjoy seeing what he can do. Jesus comes and answers nothing. They ask him and he says nothing. He is not, and he was not there to make a show. He could destroy the whole place. He could make Herod blind. He could do whatever he wanted, but he was not there to show what he could do. What people like sometimes is that Jesus that can perform a miracle to please me. If he does a miracle and I can see that, then I know that he is Jesus. I will feel great. But Jesus was quiet. He's not there to present a show. Then Herod and his army, they mock him. They laugh at him. We find nothing on this man. Send him back to Pilate. And they sent him back to Pontius Pilate. And Pontius Pilate, he receives him back. He said, oh, I thought I got rid of this Jesus. He's back here. What can I do? And it comes what we were reading. He was, as I said before, he was a strong guy, very strict. He used to perform executions without trial. And this time he could have his own decision. He could say, I release this man. He's not guilty. He could do it. But then he gave in. He was persuaded by the multitude. The people were coming, accusing, get us another man and kill him. He said, no, but this guy is innocent. We want him to kill him. And then he says, okay, verse 22, the question number 3. Then, what shall I do with Jesus? The first question, are you a king? The second question, what is truth? And the third question, what do I do with you? What do I do with Jesus called the Messiah? What do I do with him? When people want to face the eternal reality with their brain, they just get confused. They can't find answers. My question is, did Pontius Pilate find answer for his questions? Did he find answer for the question, what is truth? What do you think? Did he find the answer to that question, what is truth? He didn't. What he did, he decided to kill the truth. That was his answer. I will kill this guy who said he's the truth. And then did he find the answer about what to do with him? What do I do with this Jesus? Yes, he decided to kill him. That is the final answer when people search God with their brain. They have the opportunity, but they don't come to the reality. That's the first point. And the second one is, what happened on the other way around? When we come to Jesus with our heart, what happens? Let's see one example in Mark. We just read it the other day. Chapter 7 of Mark. Verse 24, it says, from there, Mark 7:24, from there he arose and went to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And he entered a house and wanted no one to know it. But he could not be hidden. So Jesus, in this moment, he left his people who rejected him. He left the Jewish people. He left the Galileans. And he went to the other side, to Tyre and Sidon, which today is Lebanon, quite far away from Galilee. He went there and he wanted to be hidden. He went to hide. We don't know why. He probably was tired. Remember, Jesus never rested. He worked from the morning to the next morning. He never stopped. He probably was tired. But he moved. He went to the other city where the Gentiles live, where the people who did not believe in God, where they live. He went there to hide and don't tell anyone I'm here. But then he says, a woman, he could not be hidden, for a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she kept asking him to cast out the demon of her daughter. He could not hide because there was a woman who had an issue inside her heart. She was not thinking about, is this the king? Who is this guy? No. She heard that this Jesus could help her. She came with pain in her heart, and he came down. That's what it says here. She fell at his feet. She fell down at Jesus' feet. Not the arrogance of Pontius Pilate. Not the arrogance of Herod. Not the arrogance of the other religious people. No. This was a real need that she had. She opened her heart. She said, I don't care what people say. I will come down and prostrate at his presence. And that's what she did. When you come to Jesus with your brain, you will be wandering around. But if you come with your need, with your heart open, then you will find who Jesus is. Please, she kept asking him, begging him, please help me. I need you, Jesus. I need you. Help me. Then Jesus said to her, that's very tough, let the children be filled first. For it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. At that moment, anyone coming to Jesus with his or her brain will say, who do you think you are? Stay here, I'll go back. Because this was very tough. Don't ask me, practically he said. I have a mission to my people, the children. Let me do it for them first. I don't give bread to the dogs. That is tough to receive. Again, I said, with the brain, she will say, forget them. Forget about it. I thought you were a good teacher. No, she didn't. She said, I don't care, I know he can help me. And she says, yes, Lord, but even the little dogs under the table, they eat. Even the little dogs, they eat from the children's crumbs. She did not argue. She said, I accept it. But even crumbs I can take. Even the leftovers I can take. Just a little bit, just give me something. When Jesus heard that, he says, for this saying, go your way. The demon has gone out of your daughter. And she went to the house. She found the demon gone out and her daughter lying on the bed. That's the difference. What to do with Jesus, said Pontius Pilate. This woman knew what to do with Jesus. She really knew what to do. After that, Jesus went back to Galilee, but not to the Jewish people. He went to the Greek who live in Galilee, in the Decapolis. Gentiles in Israel, they were hated. And he comes in verse 31. Again, departing from the region of Tyre and Sidon, he came through the midst of the region of the Decapolis to the Sea of Galilee. Then they brought to him one who was deaf and had an impediment in his speech, and they begged him to put his hand on him. And he took him aside from the multitude and put his finger in his ears, and he spat and touched his tongue. Then, looking up to heaven, he sighed and said to them, Ephata, that is, be opened. Immediately his ears were opened, and the impediment in his tongue was loosed, and he spoke plainly. Then he commanded them that they should tell no one. But the more he commanded them, the more widely they proclaimed it. And they were astonished beyond measure, saying, he has done all things well. He makes both deaf and to hear and mute to speak. Again, another one who knew what to do with Jesus. That city, those people, non-religious, hated, but they saw he's here. We are not going to tell him go away. We are not going to get rid of him. No, we need his presence with us. Please, they beg him. That's what he says here. They beg him. They ask him, please, help this man. He got problems, this poor guy. He got problems. He can hear, Maybe at one moment in his life he was able to hear so he can speak a little bit. Help him. And Jesus said, yep, I came here to help him. They beg him. That is what we can do with Jesus. Coming before him, ask him, here, Lord. Remember when Abraham pleaded God for the people? If there are 50, will you consume them? If there is 45, will you consume them? If there is 40, will you consume them? 30, 20. So he was pleading, God, please don't kill them. That's what they said here. They beg him, please help us. That is Jesus. The question is, to finish, this woman, the Syrophoenician, this young man or this group of people in Decapolis, they really opened their hearts and they came to Jesus like that. They knew how to come to Jesus. The other ones, the powerful, the smart, the great, they question, they argue, and they got rid of Jesus, killing him. But what about us? The question is open. What do I do with Jesus? And the thing is, they thought, the religious and the governor, they thought they had judged Jesus and killed him. But the thing is the other way around. Jesus is the one who judged them. That question one day will be reverted. One day he will be the judge and we will come in front of him. And then he can say, what can I do with you? Where do you belong to? In Matthew it says, get out. I don't know you. I don't know you. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me anything. When I was hungry, you didn't provide for me. Get out. The question will revert one day. But today is ours. What do I do with Jesus? The answer will be open our heart and come in front of him as we are. Don't think about it. Don't process it. Don't ask AI what to do with Jesus. This is what will tell us. Let's close our eyes.